It's the People's Podcast Show with Adrian Biddle, Melissa Bartlett, and your boy, Kerry Bigsby. It's your show, so tell us what you want to talk about. It's that The Round Table Podcast Show.
Family. Can you hear me now? What's going on, everybody? We are live and direct. It is the People's Podcast Show. You know us affectionately as at the Round Table Podcast Show. I'm happy today, y'all. It's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. I've been waiting to get here in this chair to what's the word, Adrian? Pontificate.
There you go.
Get auspicious in regards to what we want to do. And I would be remiss not to introduce the lady that make things happen. She is the queen of the ATRT. The Pitbull in dress, Miss Pitbull to be exact. It is Miss Melissa Bartlett. What's going on, sis?
What's going on? How are y'all doing this evening? As you said, it is the middle of the week. So, Wednesday, halfway, hump day, podcast. I'm always excited. And then we got our boy, our king, our dude, our guy as our guest tonight. So I am just ready to get into this show. But, I gotta say, got my brothers here and got A Money coming up next with his introduction. A Money.
Hey, fam.
Money.
Hey, I'm looking forward to this interview as well, man. We had this young gentleman on one other time before, and he lit the show up with straight fire. So I know everybody's going to enjoy this one.
Yes, indeed. But wait a minute. Before we get started, why do we call him A Money?
Because A Money brings bomb guests, bomb topics, and bomb facts. And when he bring it, you can bank on it.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'll tell you.
We're gonna change it, right?
Yeah. I appreciate it, man. I'm trying to sell the oak trees in my backyard, so I get a lot of that, and that hits big. I got y'all covered. Covered.
That's what's up. That is what's up.
And the man to my bottom right-hand corner, the man that stirs the drink, the conductor himself, Mr. Culture CD.
That's right.
What's going on, family? Again, it is an honor and a privilege and a blessing to be here amongst the family once again on At the Round Table Podcast Show. Just want to give quick shout outs and such. We've got Miss Keisha Brightson. Oh, y'all know her.
Yes. Hey, Keisha.
Our sister up north. We miss you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you and the family are well. Shouts out to my daughter, Miss Terry.
Hey, Terry.
So, as we getting ready to get started, y'all, I want to tell you something. And I'm just going to be real if I can be. Transparent even. When we got the chance to talk with this brother, when he came on our show several times, he always dropped some things that made us go back and say, did y'all know he could talk like that?
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, he was just dropping antidotes, nuggets, knowledge, that old soul. Then all of a sudden, he comes along. And he blesses the world with his writings. So I knew without a shadow of a doubt, we needed to get this brother on. Matter of fact, Pitbull hit us and said, I just got his book. I said, what? Okay. So I said, I'm about to go get my book because he owes me a signature. Without that being said, we're going to introduce to y'all the author. And that says a lot when you put author in front of it, because that means he's about to drop some knowledge to you and feed your spirit and your soul.
That's
the
right.
Author, Bradford Mason. What's going on, bro?
Hey, how y'all doing today? Thank y'all so much. I thank y'all so much for having me up here, man. I really do appreciate it.
We appreciate you, man. I mean, this is a big undertaking. And here's the thing that I love about this. Is the fact that this brother, which we already knew how he does, he's always quiet as kept.
Yep.
And there's power whenever you're quiet.
Yep.
You run in silence. And then he dropped this novel. And I'm going to tell you right out the gate, first 20 pages had me hooked. I'm sitting up there shaking my head like, what did he just drop onto the world?
Boy.
I'm not even going to go into it because I know Pitbull was going to do it. I always give credit where credit due. I got to let the ladies go first and stuff. But I'm telling you, the first 20 pages, like this right here, bro, you had me.
Let me tell you
appreciate
something. Brad, I'm not even going to go into the book. I mean, let me put it this way. I'm not going to go into dissecting, asking questions. I want everybody to read it. I want to know, what is the motivation behind this? Because this isn't like memoirs per se. Like, somebody kind of come out and you're like, oh, it gets your mind hooked and it starts to twinkle it and tingle it and do everything as soon as you start reading it. So what was the motivation behind this book?
Well, I want to say the motivation was really Black people. I'm gonna be honest. We're not proponents of forgiving ourselves. We'll forgive everybody else. We'll forgive every other race, but we will not forgive ourselves. So I definitely wanted to give something to the world to say and to show really that relationships, they aren't a haven where you run to hide from your internal problems. Relationships, they only intensify what you've been running from and what you need to work on spiritually. So when you get that partner, their reflection, that reflection you get is gonna be your personal curriculum. To be honest with you, whatever you need to work on through self is gonna be intensified when you look at your partner. And people today in my age bracket, we don't have that. We got a lot of stuff derailing us and getting us away from our true divinity. It's not really reeling us into where we need to be. And that's the real motivation behind it. And I really want to say this. When I got Carrie's books as well, because I study different authors. And when I got them books from Carrie, those 3 books that he wrote, I said, you know what? That really gave me more motivation to keep going, because that was around the time I was like, you know what? People not going to read a love romance novel. People really not going to rock with it like that. But I read his books. I read certain other books as well. I said, you know what? People will rock with it if I just put me in it, my personality, and I don't try to be like anybody else, and that's what it really is, man. So I really wanted to bless the world with a love romance novel to let them know. And when we look at the relationship between the 2 characters, love is a verb. It's not what you get, it's what you give. So when we look at that right there, it's not what you get, it's what you give. What can I give to my partner to show that I'm here in the long haul? Because right now, man, it's so heavy on us right now. We find the issue and we dip, we gone. No, you got to be the finished product. In today's world, in this capitalistic society, you have to be the finished product. If you not the finished product when I first meet you, I can't ride with you. And I did not want my book to reflect that. I wanted my book to reflect what was really real, what was really going on. And that's really the motivation behind it. And I'm sorry about the long answer, but I had to go that way.
There is no long answers at the round table.
Not at all. Not at all. Tina, what's going on? Thank you for joining us on that The Round Table Podcast show, sis.
Hey, Tina.
Hey, I'm going to go on here and throw it out there, because she said she wasn't going to say anything, but I got to go ahead and say it. When you dipped on Snug Harbor, and you played that, when you oh, man, let me tell you, this thing right here is, I'm just saying, this thing right here had me like, I'm sitting there, 11 o'clock, and I'm wife gone to bed. I'm like, good God almighty. He said Snug Harbor. And he start breaking it down, especially about old girl, and she's a security guard. I don't know what you did, man, but your artistic talent when it came to writing was very vivid. I'll put it that way. One author to another. you killed that. I mean, just that, your whole description about the Snug Harbor and going in and that right there, I was just like, it was like I was there. And I'm telling people, if you don't have this book, you need to get this book. I'm putting it out there. I'm stamping on my brother right now.
Yes.
He's got an imagination and a talent that is amazing. It will capture you. The first 20 pages captured me. And I had to look up and say, God, I got to go to bed. I got to work in the morning. But, bruh, explain that. Explain what you said, the motivation. But about your creativity, have you always had that gift to paint the picture?
Yes, I really have, Kerry. And in that Snug Harbor situation, that player-made event at Snug Harbor, it's a real event. It's actually a real event that really goes on and happens. It's a rapper from Charlotte. His name is Elevator J, and he put that together. And it's an ode to Southern R&B music and Southern hip hop from the 90s and early 2000s. That is a real thing. And people that go to Player Made and go to Snug Harbor every second Friday of the month, they know how live it is in there. It's so live to the point you got all type of different races in there. And writing a love romance novel, it's not a visual until you create a visual. So anything that's not there, you're gonna have to create it from the dirt. That's why it had to be so descriptive. The first 20 pages had to hook you. The first chapter had to hook you, because I mean, if it doesn't hook you, I mean, come on, like, what am I reading this for? You know, and that's what I was thinking the whole time writing it. Like, after somebody read at least the first 2 pages, are they gonna think, well, why him? Why did I purchase this? No, I wanted to make a book where you had to keep reading, so I had to make it descriptive. And I just want to say this: it pays to have a real life. I'm really from Charlotte, like I'm really from that. I'm really from that. So it was really easy to describe it because I've always seen it. It's always been around. The livelihood has always been around. I was blessed to be around certain people that had certain spirits. Even when I think about times when I was a kid, man, just always been creative, always creating things from my mind, always just being a good dresser, putting colors together, putting certain schemes together. Throughout my poetry, putting that together. It's just, you have to be descriptive when giving a love romance novel, because it's not like just a motivational book. You know, motivational books, do this, do that, do this. No, love romance novel, you really have to create the scene. I wanted to put the reader right there where it was, so they could say, oh, I'm there, I'm at Snug Harbor. Especially, and that's what I've been getting back. The feedback that I've gotten back, everybody has said the same thing. Oh, I cannot put this book down. So it's definitely not by accident. The universe makes no mistakes. God makes no mistakes. So with me putting that in there, wrecking my brain to have that creative process and creative juices to keep going, you really got to get outside your shell and get outside your comfort zone, so you can really grow and get around different people that you normally probably wouldn't be around, so you can capture their character traits and put it in this character that I'm writing about. Capture, okay, she's like that. Okay, let me implement that into this character, so this character can grow throughout the story and throughout the book. So character development is very real. That Player Made event before the pandemic hit was very real. And people that went there, they understand how real it is. So I was just honored, man. And to hear you say that you couldn't put it down, and to hear Pitbull say that she couldn't put it down, and other people say they couldn't put it down, that's a blessing to my spirit. And yeah, I don't think y'all understand. Words can't even really express how happy I am, because you know, the whole time writing it, I was like, man, I'm about to kill him. That's all I kept saying. I was like, I'm about to kill him, because it's really no other author that young like that from Charlotte putting out a love romance novel like this. I mean, it go into so many different concepts, to the point it's more than a love romance novel. It's like a self-help guide. It's a self-help guide as well. You can question yourself throughout this entire novel while learning about the main characters. So
Yeah.
that's where that whole creative process came from.
Hey,
Yeah, I was reading it, bro. I said, look, I started thinking, did I talk to Brad about some of my, did I, hold up, did I talk to him about some stuff that I used to do? Because I think he probably putting some of this in here. I think that once people read the story, they will automatically identify if they can't put themselves in the novel from a past happening or even present, that they will be able to identify with the characters so well that you're linked, you're drawn into the story. And I can say, like, okay, especially the time, the era, I'm there, I'm in the 90s, I'm in, 2000s, and I'm like, oh, and I pay attention to details. I think everything needs layers, from how you dress to when you're speaking, writing, cooking, and you automatically set that standard from the day that you crack that book. So I'm excited about it.
hey, let me tell you something. This dude right here, hey, Money.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do this. I gotta put on the spot. I'm sorry. I gotta put him on the spot. Okay. So family, everybody's asking a lot of questions. I want to get on it, but I just want to bait the hook real quick, if you don't mind. Okay. Mellow. Okay. See that right there alone, the first chapter, Mellow. See, y'all don't understand the writing. Think about it, Mellow. This is the brother's name, okay? SWV was raining on me, not the real sisters with voices. This alluring sister had Coco's no-nonsense demeanor, Lili's bright smile, and Tamara's sexy disposition. Her slouchy, oversized UCLA Bruins sweatshirt edged off her shoulder just enough to expose her skin. Her flesh invited me to this evening's appetizer. She knew I was hungry for her. My tongue and lips danced from her shoulder, then to the back of her neck. The cat-like noises she made purred with satisfaction. Her moans made her sweet skin sweeter. The sweatshirt disappearing act slowly exposed the beauty that set my soul on fire. Her birthday outfit was exposed. Her skin glistened, inching me toward her warm soul. As I slid closer to her private pool, the goddess softly whispered, "Damn, Mellow, you make my body melt." Yo,
Dang, Bradford.
I said,
Let me tell you, ladies, if your man isn't an avid reader, this is something that you can read together. You can read to him. And
yes.
I promise you, he gonna be like, oh, well, what else to say? Because this right here is so sensual in an adult way. So we started talking about the book. We didn't even give the name, the title of the novel.
On
So
purpose.
sorry. My apologies.
On purpose,
team.
I did. Yeah.
And I just was excited, like, oh, I need to make sure I let you know. This is my type of novel, my type of book. I love to have stimulation, because I think in anything that we do when we are interacting with each other, you have to have stimulation. And this book does that. It does that. So how did you come up with the name, Mellow and Serene? How did you come up with the name for the characters?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to be different, and I really do appreciate that. And for anybody I appreciate y'all putting that in the chat too. You definitely get it at Amazon, Third Second Chance. It's spelled Third Second Chance, 3RD second, the word second chance on Amazon. Bradford Mason. And I came up with Mellow and Serene. Mellow is really a name that I wanted to use. I didn't want to use, for lack of a better term, I didn't want to use Aquarius, something like that. I just wanted to use something real sensual, something real smooth. Mellow Farnsworth Jones and Serene Johnson. I definitely wanted to use Serene because it just reminded me of serenity. It described who she was after all the pain that she had went through, and how she ended up in Charlotte, she became Serene. So I definitely had to use Mellow and Serene just to use something different, give it a different flair. And Carrie, what you read in that excerpt right there, yeah, that's why I didn't go on no honeymoon. That's why me and my wife had our son, yeah, right after we got married. I'm like, dog, goodness, you know, but and that's really what it is, you know, like to write like that, those intricate details, those are not really made up. It's real life,
Right.
you know. And I wanted, and Melissa, with you saying that, if you don't have a man that reads, I'm telling you, if you don't read, if you don't do any type of meditation, you have to get in communion with God. I just got to be real. If you're not in communion with God to exercise no type of spiritual growth, you're going to look at God like a transactional God. I'm doing this, God, I'm doing that. I ain't got this yet. No, sit down, meditate, read, get your mind right, get a hobby. Reading and writing just have to be mine. Just had to be mine. It's what I chose. And to hear y'all feedback, it's great, man. 30 Second Chance on Amazon, Mellow and Serene. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. That connection, and it just goes together. Mellow and Serene just sounds good too. It really sounds good.
It do. It do.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, that was
parallel
creativity.
when you think of your first thought of the definition of the names and what words it actually pulls you to from your vocabulary. They're parallel to each other, and I'm ready for the Audible. I'm buying this on the Audible, so I need somebody with a nice silky voice that's laid out. I need them to read this one to
Yeah,
me.
we definitely working on that Audible. So many people have asked me, "Hey, you gonna do Audible? You gonna do Audible?" I'm like, "We working on it. We working on it. It's coming. It's
There
coming."
you go.
I mean, the ebook and the actual print book is doing numbers. So I just been busy with that, but it's coming. It's coming.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Look, keep me waiting. That's okay. That's okay. I like a little tease over here and there. That's fine.
Jeremiah Holt, thank you for joining us on At the Roundtables. We appreciate you joining. Tonight, y'all, we have the author himself, Bradford Mason, author of Third Second Chance, a novel. Man, let me tell you, Tina just, she posed a question, or basically a statement. She said, I'm interested in writing a book, but I'm too afraid to be sharing too much. Bruh, share with her.
Just depends on what lane you want to go to. It's so many categories that you can write. Because when I first started writing, I was working on another book. Something just hit me to write a love romance novel, because when I was working on that other book, I let one of my brothers read it. He was like, I don't know, this may be a little bit too heavy. And I think it was. I think it was. I said, for my first book, I don't want to go that heavy. It was more like a history book, but I didn't want to go that heavy. So I just did the love romance novel. But there's so many lanes, and as far as sharing too much, now with me, there is some real testimonials within my book. I had to do that to keep me interested into writing, because writing this, I learned so much more about myself, the joy and pain from my life. So I use real scenarios and people that's close to me. I use those type of scenarios, and I just intertwine them with my book. Of course, everybody knows somebody that's going through certain traumas and things of that nature. So I definitely had to put that in my book. I didn't go so deep to make it be like, oh, this is me. No, I didn't do that.
Right.
I wouldn't do that to nobody close to me. I just had to make it personal. Not personal to the point where it's like down to the T, but I definitely had to do that to just give myself a foundation and building blocks to go off of, because I'm telling you, there's no visualization when it comes to novels. With being the author, you really have to create something from the dirt. So how can you do that if you don't use past experiences? It's pretty tough to do that if you don't use those past experiences, because when people reading it, they're gonna be like, okay, this don't even sound real. It don't seem natural the way I'm reading it. It has to be a natural flow, a natural progression as you reading it, as your mind goes here to there to this idea, to that idea, to this setting, to that setting. It just has to be a natural progression.
I think the
Yeah,
word
right.
is relatable. People can't
yes,
people can't read with intent and interest if they're not relatable, if the story isn't relatable to them.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's true. Thank you,
There you go.
Pratina, for that. I appreciate that, Pratina. Thank you
Yeah.
for that purchase.
Oh, okay, Tina.
Okay.
Spoken word and romantic scripts. There you go. Find your lane. That is what's
Me
up.
too, Tina. Me too. I actually am putting my cousin that is a year behind me, who passed 10 years ago actually, this March. She actually was a poet, spoken word. She and I both dibbled and dabbled in, lighthearted things, but we're really into erotic spoken word. And so I have a lot of her writings and some of mine, and I'm trying to put them together. So Tina, if you have anything that I'm serious about this, if you want to have anything that you want to contribute to this project, get with me, let me know. Um, because it will fit right into what I'm trying to do.
Hey, money.
Hey, yes,
What
sir.
you think, man?
Man,
Boy.
Bradford, I am so sorry I was late to the party. My purchase was done yesterday, and my book will be arriving tomorrow. But with that being said, though, Carrie just got through reading that beautiful excerpt. I'm talking about. Look, I'll be the first to tell you I'm not an avid reader. I need to be doing a lot more of it. But just hearing that descriptive scene that he just got through reading, that's enough to entice me to hurry up as soon as that book arrived to crack that thing open and read it immediately. So my question to you is, what was the process like? How long did it take you to write that novel? Because I mean, as descriptive as it is, it sounds like it might have taken a while, but I don't know.
Yeah, I started writing that, man, late 2018, early 2019, and I was just like, I was really competing with myself, and also with my two favorite authors, which is Donald Goins, rest in peace, Donald Goins, and Eric Jerome Dickey. Those two right there, because I've always read their books since I was young. My mama just had them. My father just had them around the house. So I'm like, I don't know if I should be reading this, but I'm gonna read it anyway. Just to see what they're talking about. You go to grandma's house, she got books on the bookshelf. You looking like, okay, let me just grab one. I don't know. Let me just grab one. But since 2018, man, and it was a up and down process, man. Just questioning myself as well, man. Confusion. I was confused a lot of times because I didn't really know how to move to the next scene or how to flow to the next scene, but I just stayed prayed up, and I just
Mhm.
kept on writing through it, and I just found out, man, just confusion, it's a good thing because you're at the end of everything that you thought you knew.
Mm,
So
Mm.
with that confusion, man, it's gonna birth something else. It's gonna
Mhm.
birth something else. The universe is gonna lay it on you,
okay.
especially when it's a calling, when it's meant for you.
Mm,
It's no way you can make a mistake on it. It may delay you, but it's not gonna put you out of alignment with your destiny. So man, 2018, and you gotta understand, still working, still was able to provide, thank God, through the pandemic, still taking care of my son, trying to figure out how to be a good friend, a good husband,
Mhm.
a good father. That's, I'm telling you, because it's so real out here. A good father, and just being a good person, period. All that battling you while you trying to write. So it really just gave me extra motivation, man. And I knew it could take a while, but when I got started, man, when you get started on the journey and you get into the middle, you can't see the beginning where you started, or you can't see the end. So, but you closer to the end than you are to the beginning, you
mm,
know? So you
mm-hmm.
just got to keep going and keep on walking, man. So it took me a good 3 years. But I'm not ashamed of it at all.
Well,
That's
Like
what's
I
up.
said, I can't wait. I know me and my wife, we're gonna be going. We might even read it together with each other.
Telling you. That
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. For real, man.
Yes, sir.
that's a good question. So she said, were there any points during the process where you ran into a writer's block and felt like giving up? What kept you moving forward?
What kept me moving forward was just telling myself that I, to be real, this is what I kept saying to myself. The sun is not humble about shining. You cannot hear the sun come up in the morning. One of the greatest elements in the universe, we cannot hear that sun come up. You can't listen to the sun come up, but it's so powerful. I said, you know what? I gotta channel that energy. So when I got writer's block, I would just listen to quotes, read different things, and one of the main things was looking at my son. That was just looking at him. I was like, you know what? If I can just finish this, and when he get older, this would be something he can go back to. That was really the fuel to the fire. One of, but that's the main fuel to the fire. I would just see him playing, just doing what he does as a 3-year-old, 2-year-old at that time, just doing what he does. I'm like, he doesn't even understand what I'm doing, but he's operating in his own world. I'm operating in my own world. He can go back to this, and he can have a reference guide, a reference point, and to see that, you know, I don't have to accept the status quo. If I have a gift, if I have a talent, I can make this happen. So that's really what it was, and just really and all and truly having the right people in your circle too. I'm telling you, that's a major key, because the people that's in your family and things of that nature, they may not be in your circle. And I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that right there, man. If you don't have nobody around, if you don't have nobody around you telling you, hey, you can finish this. Hey, you need to go ahead and do this. You need to do that. If you don't have them type of people around you, just get by yourself and focus on what you need to do. Because I'm telling you, those people that claim that they really truly love you, they don't. They see you. They just see me as, oh, that's just Brad. That's just Brad. But I see myself bigger than that. So that's what kept me going through that writer's block, for real.
Mm.
I
And
like
he
that.
said, ain't that the truth, honey?
Mhm.
I love the statement about the son. And I love the fact that, yeah, it is important about who you have. I tell my daughters all the time, your family isn't always by blood. Sometimes it's by love. And the people that you have around you is extremely important to motivate you. They make you angry. The people who can stir your emotions are the people who are good for you, because they're either going to motivate you or they're going to support you, one or the other. And that's who you need to have. And I want to ask a question about the artwork on the cover, because I love the artwork. I thought it was pretty when I got
Mhm.
the book, and then I felt that it was so appropriate once I started reading the novel. So, where and how did you come up with that?
Well, that artwork, it came from an author, well, not an author, an artist. I'm sorry, an illustrator out of Charlotte, a black illustrator. I definitely wanted to keep it all black. One of my best friends, his name is Rashad Moselle. He does photography. He does illustrations. He's one of the dopest. And if people know, they know. I'm telling you, this brother right here. I mean, he he on a different level with it. So when I came to him with it, I just told him straight up. I was like, man, I just want to do a heartbreak. That's all I want to do. And
Mhm.
he went to work. It took him about a good 2 months to finalize it, because we was going back and forth, which is good. Which is good. You
Right.
don't want to have nobody like, oh, this it right here. That's just what it is.
Mhm.
No. I kept challenging him, and he kept challenging me. Like, do you like this? He did 12 paintings, not just drawings. These were real paintings on clay that he really crafted up and had to do. And I just gave him the heartbreak idea, and he added everything else. So when we look at the cover, the design inside the heart is an actual real painting. It's not just throwing together colors. It's real vibrant. And you see the flowers on the cover. It describes growth, strength, beauty. Is even though it's suffering, love can cause you to suffer. That's why some flowers are sprouted up, some flowers are dead, because the entire book, you know, when you think about hurt and healing, it's gonna cause you to grow, it's gonna cause you to die. But when that old self dies, that's when that new one can arise. So that's the whole concept behind that cover, man. When your old self die, your new one will arise. So and that heartbreak, man, we've all been through it. Whether it be a loss of loved one, you lost a good friend, y'all was so cool, and one day they changed on you, they turned lanes without no turning signal, and you just realize, like, what's going on? This was my partner, this was my friend, what's going on? Like, just out of the blue, out of nowhere. So we've all experienced heartbreak, man. I wanted to make it relatable so anybody can relate to it. For real. Oh, shout out to Rashad Mosaic.
Shouts out to Rashad, man. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, that's my dog right there. That dude, he top of the line for real. That's a 100 brother right there, for real. Like, and in today's society, it's so, sometimes we get caught up on, oh, what can they do for me? They ain't even checked on me. What they want to do with me. It's not even about that with me and him. It's straight 100, man. He know I got his back like chiropractic, and I know he got my back like chiropractic. So that's just what it is, man. It's a blessing to know him, and for him to do that cover, man, because I was going back and forth with that dude, man. But it's good to have good people in your corner, man, for real.
Well, it is dope, and I'm not just saying that because Mr. Mozelle's now on here. It's dope, and it caught my eye once I opened up my package. So yes.
Oh yeah, most definitely. All right, so I've got to ask that question. Here I go, stirring it up again. For you to put together such an undertaking, such a project, dope project. I know there was many nights and you were up and trying to write, and you mentioned it several times as well. You still trying to, hold it down as a father, hold it down as a husband and such. How has the Queen assisted you on this journey? And from 2018 to like right now, and she sees the fruit of your labor. How has she been?
Sometimes people can help you without knowing that they're helping you. So she assisted me a lot of times by being a peaceful haven for me. I'm gonna start there. And when you have a peaceful haven inside the household, because I'm telling you, man, when you going out here into this world, it's war going on. Especially on people with my reflection in the mirror. A lot of us, I'm telling you, man, I got to take my time with this, because just thinking about how she assisted me on this route, she never badgered me. She never told me that it wasn't gonna do well. She never asked me, why you writing a book? That combative energy wasn't behind that question. When I first told her, I said, hey, I'm thinking about writing this love romance novel. It's about Mellow and Serene. That was the summer of 2018. And she was like, I think it's gonna do good. I think it'll do real good. Why not? And when she said that, I said, okay, that's cool. But throughout the process and trying to raise a family and work, and continue to stay healthy, she never badgered me, man. She was peace. She was peace. I never got home and had to sit in the car and say, you know what, I don't even want to go in my house, man. I don't even want to do this, dog. For real, man. Because I'm telling you, so many people, so I'm going to be real right here. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know exactly how I'm coming. It's dudes that'll get off. They won't even call the wife. They'll call the weed man. Like, hey, dog, I need that from you, dog, for real. I can't even go home. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Or they'll go to get advice before they even call the wife and go home, man. They'll sit. They got to put on hard hats. They got to get the AK, the AK. They got to get the bulletproof vest on. They got to make sure they got their grenades straight, because they know it's not peace in the home. And that's just what it is, man. In America, I'm gonna just say this too. It's no measure of health to be integrated into a sick society. So when we look at everything that's going on outside the home, you don't want to come home and be at war.
Right.
No, you don't want that. You
That's
don't
right.
want that, especially not from your black queen and you being a black man trying to uphold a standard in this society. You don't want that. So that's how she was able to help me to be a peaceful haven and to listen and to also, I'm not gonna say this to put no woman down, knowing when to just be quiet,
Mm.
not doing, being. That's what, and I get caught up in that too sometimes. Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Instead of just being, just be still, be be faithful, be pure in your actions. Just be. Don't keep trying to do. You keep trying to do, you're gonna run yourself crazy. You're gonna flush yourself down the toilet. You
Right.
understand? So just be. So she was just able to be. And I appreciate her for that. I really do.
That's
Mr.
what's up.
May, look, that's called shut mouth grace. That's what that's called. And to be transparent, when I first got married, my pastor prayed that over me. And I did not understand. I thought she was being funny. And she said no. She said, "You laughing." She said, "But I'm going to pray for you." And I
Mm.
had to grow into that. I had to mature into
Mhm.
shut mouth grace. Because sometimes it's not necessary to always say. Sometimes it is just necessary to be. And that is exactly what that means.
I know
Well,
that's right.
I'll tell you what. Oh, go ahead, CD.
No, I was gonna say shouts out to Charlie. She said she
Hey, Charlie.
casting the
Oh,
show
yeah,
to
that's
the
love.
TV while she's working. That's what's up. She got
That's
the
love
movies
right
to
there.
make.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's love.
Well, I'll tell you what. Between Bradford and Miss Pitbull,
I know, right?
I feel when I talk about nuggets being dropped, I'm talking about just inspirational nuggets being dropped. I I am spiritually full. Seriously. And just speaking on your character and everything, man. Having the opportunity to work with you
Mhm.
and just getting a chance to know you, man. It's not a lot of brothers like you, and for you to step back and put your heart into a book, a novel at that, and really show and describe some of the things that you done seen and put that in writing, man. I like I said, I can't wait to actually read the book. I thoroughly am looking forward to actually picking this thing up as soon as it comes in. So, but with that being said, and I don't want to dismiss this in any kind of way, but do you see yourself going at it again with another one?
Most definitely. I've already started on my second book. The first book I started writing and held off on, I just went straight to it. Because, man, when I was on the phone with Rashad Moselle last week, he told me, he was like, when people do something, and this is how he is, when people do something, man, they got a tendency to get lazy. He'll say something like that. And I'm like, all right,
Yep.
I'm like, all right. And people in my family, they're telling me, hey, okay, hey, even though we not even nearly done with the first one, you writing the second one? I'm like, yep, I've already started. So that's what it is. And to go back to your first point, Adrian, I'm gonna say this: life is about relationships, man. And if you're not in tune with the spirit of the relationship, you're not relating. And I say that to say this: I met all of you through work, through employment.
Mhm.
So with that, just think if I wasn't vibrating on that level, and I just think if I wasn't even vibrating, y'all would have looked right over me, or we would have looked right over each other. It's so many people that we look right over because they're not. You could tell it's not even. It's no way we'll be compatible in no type of friendship. It's just you can just look at people and tell sometimes. I'm just be real. So if I wasn't even vibrating or walking in that energy, we wouldn't even be sitting here today. So I really do appreciate y'all for even rocking with me, because a lot of people may look down, a lot of older folks may look down like, man, you know what, these young folks crazy. And a lot of young folks, man, these old people don't even understand what's going on. And that's how they got us, you know. So we can't keep doing that. We got to do this. We got to come together and see that we need our elders. The elders is the mind, and I'm not saying y'all elders, but I'm just saying that the older folks is the mind. The young folks is the body. So we need that. We need that communion. We need that type of love being shared both ways. That agape. We need that. We really do need that, especially within our society. But Adrian, most definitely already working on the second one. My father, when he got his book, he said, "Dog, you got this much to say?" I'm like, you know. And I told him, I said, I told him, I said, it got to be your worthwhile. You know, it got to be money well spent. You know, and when you get into it, you're not even gonna know that it's that long.
Yeah, it was money well spent, and I want my son. I got my copy. I want you to sign it. And that is the truth. I say the same thing, Brad. I only got a chance to work with my brothers, under a year, and you. But the connection was so strong. You was real, always cool and laid back. Once I got a chance to actually be with you, and I really used to just walk through like, "What's up? How you doing?" He'd be like, "Fine." Never had or exchanged a whole bunch of conversation, but it was like it was cool, you know. And I spoke to different people in that office different ways, and I would make sure that Brad got an endearment, like, "Yo, you good, like that. You are my dude." And so I don't feel that there is nothing that is circumstance when it comes down to the connections that I have with you, A Money and CD. You gotta be on the same frequency. That is so true. And I'm so grateful for these two and for you to be a part of such a big project. I foresee this book, I'm telling you, the more that people get out, they pick it up, they start sharing it. I'm gifting it. I'm making another order tonight. I'm gifting it to a lot of young brothers because a lot of young brothers need some material from other real brothers. I'm telling you, it's gonna go big.
And Melissa, I really do. With Pitbull, I'm sorry, I appreciate that. I really do, because having that background of working with young men throughout the city, being from the city, it's the city of Charlotte. It's so. I mean, sometimes you don't really see what your future gonna go to. So it can be very challenging. And I really do appreciate you saying that. I really do. And I also appreciate A Money, because I'm telling you, A Money and Carrie, but A Money in particular, because I mean, it's been times when he's walked over to me and I just started going in about politics, the world, things like that, and he'll just be listening. He'd be like, "Dang, I didn't see it that way." And I appreciate, and man, A Money, I really do appreciate that, because I can get heavy, and just start going in and get kind of emotional about certain topics and aspects on life that's affecting our walk. And I just want to say this: when you got somebody to hear your hurt, it can help heal you. Having horror heard helps heal hurt. And when I say that, when you just think about a horrible time in your life, just a horrible moment, and you have somebody to hear you, it brought healing to you. So, and that's really what it is, man. Because when we get on that hamster wheel, just trying to maintain everything that's meant to break down, we just get on that hamster wheel. We just forget about the spiritual aspect of life and the spiritual aspect of connecting to other human beings that can help you along your journey. I'm telling you.
Man, I appreciate that. That is so true. And as Kerry would say, iron sharpens iron, man. I done learned a lot from you. And trust me, everything that you done mentioned about us, I feel the same way about Kerry and Melissa. I know Kerry, I done tore his ears up a couple of times. So like I said, between us four and that synergy and everything, it is truly felt and genuine.
Amen to that. Shouts out to Mahogany Tafiti for joining us on At the Round Table. What's going on, Hoggy? All right, so shameless plug again. Hoggy, check this out. We have the author, Bradford Mason, on our show tonight. And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it just like that because I know he's walking his path right now. So y'all need to be ready. Y'all gonna see this man and one day he might, Denzel Washington arm around him or something. I'm going to throw him atmosphere. I'm sorry,
put that out there.
Denzel
Put it
playing
out there.
Mello.
I'm gonna throw it out
Denzel or David. We'll take one of those Washingtons playing Mello. What? I mean, what?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Tyler Perry might mess around and say, "I need you to come down here to Atlanta." And I'm gonna throw it out there. So, Hoggy, check this out. Here's the book right here. Okay, it is Third Second Chance, the novel by Bradford Mason. Shameless plug. I'm gonna drop one on you real quick. Check this out. All right, so I'm 27 and I came from a somewhat good home. My parents had me in their late 30s. I guess I came from a seasoned egg and some healthy sperm. That explains my old soul. People said I've always spoken older than my years. Mama worked as a substance abuse counselor for teens fighting addictions. She's been working for the Department of Social Services for 15 years. Pops worked tirelessly as a truck driver for Modern Trucking Company. He's been driving through the southeastern United States for the past 13 years. But sometimes money got slow, and I witnessed certain things he did to keep the lights on. Let me tell you something. This brother is artistic, and he's painting a picture. And it's something that a lot of us can sit and relate to, because when he wrote that and he talked about dad, it made me think about my dad. Every morning getting up 3 a.m, putting on shoes to go work at a bakery for over 40-some years, tirelessly for years. It made me reflect back on my own dad, and I had to call their house the next day. Thank you, bro. I'm telling you, this brother right here has got a gift. So if you don't know, I'll need you to go out and pick up Third Second Chance, a novel written by the author, Bradford Mason. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to find something in here that's going to make you say, that's me. Did I talk to Brad about that? Oh, wait a minute. That's the same thing I went through. It is a relatable, beautifully written novel.
It is. It is. And for anybody watching right now, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 25. If you put it in the comment and you pick my number, I will buy a copy for you and I'll have it shipped to your house.
That's heavy. That's love right there. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, I really. That's
Can I join you on that?
I'm not cheating. I'm gonna put it in our private chat right now so everybody know which number it is that I'm thinking
appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate y'all for real. And Carrie, that excerpt again, I had to make it relatable because it's real. It's so real. I've heard different stories about my uncles and my father who was there every day with me along the step of the way. I'm telling you, since I was born, up and down that road, man, and just hearing some stories that his friends have told me, it's like, I mean, sometimes for black men, things can just happen that's out of our control. So you have to have some type of hustler's mentality to try to navigate through this world. I'm telling you. And I appreciate that for you calling your parents, and I'm gonna be real, it has brought people closer together. I'm just gonna say that you're not the first person that I heard say that. That has brought me closer to my family. It made me check on this person. It made me self-reflect with just in the first chapter. So I appreciate y'all. I really do giving me this platform, man. I'm grateful. I'm honored.
Oh, Trav Perry done joined us on the round table. That's another brother right there, boy.
Another
Trav,
heavy
check
hitter.
this out. Another heavy hitter. Boy, I'm telling you. Trav, this brother right here, Bradford Mason, author. This novel right here, bro, you got to pick it up. You will appreciate it. You will sit down with your queen and read excerpts to her, and I'm going to tell you, she'll be like, she already know you got the gift of gab, but she will appreciate you reading this to her. I'm going to tell you, bro, go get this book. I co-sign on this book. I guarantee you'll like this book. I'll give you money back if you don't like the book.
That's
it.
That's
it. I feel like coming from speaking from a woman, speaking about Charlie, you can guess until you get it right. I think it's important as a woman, a Black woman, to have strong male figures surrounding you. Whether you have issues from not having them growing up or having pain when you don't, or when you're grown, I should say. And so I don't need a lot of people. I just need strong people. I don't need a lot of men. I just need strong men because of who I am and how I am. I always refer back to an interview that Jill Scott did at the Breakfast Club a long time ago. And she was saying that you know she doesn't want anybody that's just a yes man. She don't want nobody who's just weak. And she was like, if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. She said, I will eat you. And that's how I feel about men. You need to be strong. You need to be who you are. That doesn't mean you have to be over masculine and trying to be hard. Just be strong in who you are. Stand on your own too. And I feel like it is a privilege to have these three gentlemen in my life, and what ATRT has brought other people in, like Trad and oh my goodness, Mr. Holt. You know, there's so many different ones that come through that has had the privilege to cross the path. And it helps you as a woman to be secure in your position. And so when Brad is talking about being heavy and Brad is talking about, you know, I might be a little much, it's because unfortunately it's so many weak people. So you seem extra loud and you seem extra big because it's so many delicate flowers around. And this is male and female. And so I welcome the energy. I welcome the realness. And I feel like there should always be someone to support you to stay true, to stay who you are, to stay how you are. And I want ATRT to always be a platform that you feel that you could come to and be exactly that.
That's heavy. I appreciate that, Pitbull. And to piggyback off that, even if you do have a strong strong character traits, sometimes I ask myself, and I you know, I pass this to A Money and Carrie, how many times do you admit that you are wrong, and what are the actions that you do to correct those methods? I mean, if you never challenge yourself um, internally, if you never hold the mirror up and ask yourself any type of self-reflective questions, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna be real stagnant, and it's gonna keep those doors closed that the universe want to open up to you. But you know, you on a treadmill just repeating the same lessons with different people, or repeating the same lessons in different scenarios because you haven't graduated. And once you graduate that lesson, that's when the universe pass you along to get your blessing. And man, I really do appreciate what you just said, Pitbull, for real, because I mean it's real out here.
EG. Hey, Money.
All that I can say is amen. That's all that I can say.
Y'all heard from the
Amen.
people themselves.
Yes.
Man, oh man, oh man. Well, family, this is the time of the evening in which we really do hate, but we want to give the opportunity for Bradford to close us out. Bradford, again, hit the people, let them know how they can contact you in regards to your book. Hopefully a book signing will be coming up soon, because a lot of things are getting a little bit relaxed right now. So maybe we'll be able to, you know, commingle and get to meet the man himself who's written this amazing novel, for them to pick your brain. Go ahead and talk to him, man.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. And I've been looking at various spots for book signings, and also when it comes to Instagram, you can hit me on Brad 19 Mace. That's how it's spelled, BRAD the number 19, then Mace, M-A-S-E. Facebook is Brad Mace. Twitter is Brad Mace. Amazon 30 Second Chance. Man, I really do appreciate all the love. The book is doing very well right now. And I really do appreciate y'all just for having me on this platform, man. I mean, this is what we have to do. We have to help each other, man. If we had each other, we wouldn't need nobody else, man. That's what I always say, man. For real, we have to help each other up the ladder, you know. And I just appreciate y'all for just giving me the time and to just seeing value in me. I'm telling you, man, because money ain't nothing but a tool. It's a tool, and it's something of substance. It's a value of substance. So with that value, man, I appreciate y'all for just sharing y'all energy with me. I'm truly grateful. I really am.
Kara, did anybody get my number?
You know what? I'm trying to think if we should go ahead and announce it now, or should we go ahead and have them come back? Because I think you actually had 2 people that hit. So tell you what, this is what we're gonna do. 2 people hit. So for the 2 people that just hit, you're gonna gift one and I'm gonna gift one. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So to the people that just won, first and foremost, it looks like Mahogany Tabiti, she just won one. So shouts out to Mahogany. And then Rashad just won the other one. So with that being said, family, since y'all won these, we're gonna need y'all to DM us on the At the Round Table Podcast Show page. DM us there. Give us your address information so we can make sure we get this out there to you. We'll get them shipped to you. Okay. But we need your address information, and you need to slide into our DM so we don't have everybody know your information and stuff like that. And you got somebody knocking on your door and stuff. But yeah, if you can do that, that'd be pretty cool. There was something else I wanted to that's what's up. Everybody just chiming in. Boy, they love it. They love it. So family, again, DM us, let us know. So we can get these books over to you. And anybody got Kindle? Does anybody have Kindle out there? If you have Kindle, DM me. Okay. If you have Kindle, DM me. I feel like blessing. So
that's good. It's available on Kindle too.
Oh yeah, I can hear it as well.
Yeah, okay.
So check it out, family. It is that time of the evening in which we have to go ahead and shut it down. A couple of things I'm gonna ask you before I turn it over to my 2 amazing brethren and sistren. Share this particular show. Okay, we always ask you to share the show, but this show right here is powerful. Okay, because we've got a brother that has dropped the jewels on us. Not only on this show and the past shows, but he's just dropped something that's going to leave a legacy for other people to follow. All right. So if you get a chance, share the show so other people can be blessed by it as well. And also, if you get a chance, like us. We love the likes because that means the People's Podcast is doing what they're supposed to do, which is bringing a positive reinforcement and energy and love to the people that are out there, because it's y'all podcast, not ours. And with that being said, I'm going to leave it to Melissa, a.k.a. Miss Pitbull, A-Money, a.k.a. A-Money.
Go ahead, A-Money.
Well, Brad, the only thing I got to say, man, is keep living that truth, because that light that you're bringing forth is desperately needed and appreciated. So keep living that truth, my brother.
Appreciate that, most definitely.
And I've said what I need to say. It's just important to make sure that we stay strong, we stay prideful. Some people always look at pride and think that it's a bad word, but it's not. It's a good thing. And I think we need to have more of it. And let's make sure that we support who we are. And don't be ashamed to be transparent. Don't be ashamed to be truthful. Don't be ashamed to look in the mirror, because the better that you are is the better that we are.
That's right. I appreciate that. You can't, if you don't have it, you can't give it to nobody else.
That's right.
Amen to that. So, family, it's the People's Podcast Show. Yo, tune in next week. You don't know who we're gonna have. We'll surprise you. We're gonna surprise you, but you're really gonna enjoy it. And we're gonna ask you also to be a blessing to other people as you come in contact with them, because you don't know the words that you speak, the energies that you give, may be the thing that keeps them from here to there, and actually get you closer to where you're supposed to be. We love y'all and we mean it. It's the People Podcast Show. Peace.